We're on Gadigal country here today. You stand aside, all of you learned, good people who understand the realities of life and humanity, that people with drug and alcohol or other afflictions are health problems.
There's actually no place in harm minimization for targeting users, but that's our government's preferred response. You know, the government has a target, the police department has a target of arresting 200,000 people a year on possession charges. And if you think of the devastation that just one of those charges causes to people's lives, we have a policy of devastating the population of New South Wales. Our government's current drug and alcohol strategy is one of just say no, and we know that doesn't work. But what just say no is telling people is that if you experience harm, it's your fault. Like, you made that choice and it's your fault. You know, what we need to do is we just had this inquiry, the ICE inquiry. It's actually, we didn't just have it, it gave its findings late in 2019. And one of the main findings was decriminalisation. And you know, it's a sharp contrast to our current approach, which is dogs, searches, and arrests.
But look, we're here today because tomorrow the New South Wales Cabinet's going to make a decision. And we can already tell it's going to be a seriously watered down decision from even the recommendations in the ICE inquiry. We know that because we've seen the right wing in the Liberal Party launch attack after attack in the Daily Telegraph, just because there was a suggestion we may have a small slither of rational changes to drug laws. So what is the current proposal? Well, as we understand it, and this is more from leaks than any formal delivery of information from the New South Wales Cabinet, the New South Wales Police have forced a change in the proposed. It was originally going to be 2 warnings, a fine, and only then would you find yourself in the criminal justice system. Well, the police have pushed back in New South Wales, and now it's going to be fine, and then you go to court. The people who are most over-policed, young people, people of colour, First Nations peoples, are going to be the least able to pay the fines in the first place. And we're going to see the loss of driving licences and the other impacts that you see. And in this case, from fines that may be as high as $1,000 for simply having a joint in your pocket. We need to decriminalise personal use across the board. We need to treat the drug use as a health issue, not as a crime. Because does anybody seriously believe the war on drugs is working? Has anybody heard about that major change in a young person's life when they were pulled over by police, taken before the courts, convicted of a crime, and then perhaps lose their career and their ability to travel? Because that's what currently happens. Randomly, people in New South Wales are being pulled out at random by the police, often after a drug dog search or just simply because they're young at a music festival. And a small subsection of those people are going to be found with drugs on them. They're going to be taken into the criminal justice system, and the real harm that's going to happen to their life is not from the pill in their pocket, but from the aggressive policing, the brutalisation of the strip searching, and the criminal conviction that will so seriously impact their life for doing something that we know 20 or 30% of people in Australia have done. And what the government is going to do on Monday won't come close to ending the war on drugs. And we will keep putting before the Parliament rational drug laws, decriminalisation of all personal possession. We will be moving to legalise and regulate the supply of cannabis in the next year. These are the changes that are going to impact upon the world. These are the changes young people need. These are the changes First Nations peoples need. It's time to end the war on drugs.